A lot to unpack from the weekend, obviously, but Tiki, there's still a lot of residue on this Judge stuff, this Judge contract, this monstrosity of a gap, which is believed to be in upwards of $100 million between the Yankees and Judge's camp.
I mean,
wow.
That feels like a lot, $100 million off from the offers. We know he made multiple offers. Did Brian Cashman to Aaron Judge's camp. It comes in low on the AAV. I think we subsequently have found out it's not about the number of years. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want a 10-year deal. 8 is probably the right number. It was more about the guys that he's being compared to, his lack of health relative to some of these other players who, including Mike Trout. Now, again, he's not Mike Trout,
no,
but he's taken more plate appearances than Mike Trout has since 2017. So we don't hear this about Mike Trout. Granted, Mike Trout has MVPs, but Aaron Judge he's feeling like he's being underappreciated. As crazy as that sounds, with $30+ million a year that he was offered, he's the face of New York, man. Mm-hmm. He's the face of New York baseball. Hell, he might be one of the faces of Major League Baseball.
He is.
And he's homegrown. He's the perfect example of who you want to pay, and the Yankees didn't come correct.
The bottom line is this is just a very complex negotiation. I mean, that's all there is to it. Given his age, 3 years in college, the injury history, a little bit of a financial pivot by the Yankees. Although, listen, the Yankees came correct with this offer. I stand by that. I've got no issue with the Yankees.
Doesn't it feel light to you?
No, it doesn't. I think it's fine. The Yankees, the numbers, 7 years, the $31 million per year. They even said that, you know what? We know that you wanted $21 million in arbitration. We're willing to give you 17 with the counter. You sign this, we'll bump it up to 21. We'll show a little good faith there. No, 8 years, $233 million for somebody who's 30 is incredibly loyal and incredibly fair. Listen, I understand that Judge has unwavering belief in himself, and I respect that. But this is a miscalculation on the part of Aaron Judge. This is a miscalculation on the part of Aaron Judge. I'll take it a step further. I know Met fans, Met fans invariably weave their way into the conversation. They poke it on social media. They prod. They, like we're little lab rats, like or animals in the store. They knock on the cage to see if we're responsive. I'm going to say this right now. If Aaron Judge, and I love Judge, you're right, the face of New York, one of the faces of baseball, great young man, great player, all that stuff stands true. If Stevie Cohen came with a 10-year deal or even a 9-year deal, and you know what? That was enough to lure Aaron Judge to Queens, so be it. So be it. At that point, I would absolve the Yankees from any wrongdoing. I don't want to see it happen, but you know what? If somebody gives them 9, if somebody gives them 10, they will lament the last 3, 4, if not more years of that contract. I'm not doing it if I'm the Yankees, period.
Well, I don't think it's about the years. I don't think it's about playing till he's 40. I think it's about being respected with the amount of money that he's making per season. We've seen it go up for the last 4 or 5 years for some of these massive contracts that we've seen get done. Rendon is making $35 million AAV. We know what Trout is making. Lindor is making $34 AAV. He wants to be respected on that level. Now it feels like it's only $3 million. But that $3 million over the course of 8 years ends up being a significant amount of money for Aaron Judge. And really, it's about respect, right? And I think that's what this is about. This isn't about, I want to play until I'm 40 and retire a Yankee. This is more about, you got to show me the respect that some of the other stars of the league, the other stars who aren't nearly as popular or face of the MLB as I am, are getting paid.
They're also younger and they're healthier. Not all of them. Tatis have been banged up. Not all of them, to be fair.
Exactly.
But they're younger.
Health
it matters. They're younger significantly.
I know what you're saying.
He's got to know this.
I get this and I understand it, but at the end of the day, do a shorter deal then and give him and pay him what he wants.
I don't know if he's amenable to that. I don't know. I saw the report today that according to a couple of sources, Judge's counter was 9 or 10 years. So when you say that he doesn't want 9 or 10 years, that's not, if this story is true.
Yeah.
And it's John Heyman. And John Heyman's now at the Post, and John Heyman's very well sourced. And I don't know if he's absolutely right here, but I surmise he might be. According to his source, Judge's count, there was 9 or 10 years up to $360 million. Listen, I get it. If I'm Aaron Judge, the guy batting behind me is making, $300 million. I get it. The guy on the hill on opening day who had, by the way, before we forget about this, because I know it was Friday, Gerrit Cole, what are you doing complaining about the extra 4-minute ceremony that got you so off your game that you give up a crooked spot in the first inning?
I mean,
is this guy kidding me with Billy Crystal?
So, by the way,
stop, Gerrit.
I hear this, and I wonder, does that really matter? I mean, seriously, does it really matter? And I don't know, because I've never had to be a pitcher who's, going out my mind, is being crafted in a certain way, and it's got to hit to the second, it seems like. It was 4 minutes, BT.
Listen, I know that Wade Boggs.
15.
They are
4 minutes.
Baseball players, probably more than any sport, are very.
I'm asking that question,
base.
like seriously looking for an answer.
I know, and I didn't play Major League Baseball, so I can't give you the absolute right answer, but I can probably, get you in the neighborhood of it's a bit of an excuse, and we don't want to hear that. When the Red Sox tattooed you in the wild card last year, and he gave up 3 spots. Now, by the way, he buckled down, gave the Yankees a chance to win. They did, and we'll get into all the, the nuances, the minutia from the weekend. But, I didn't like that. Not a single Yankee fan liked that. And speaking of Yankee fans, based on my interactions, whether it was at the Hard Rock Cafe, because this broke during our show on Friday. We had, by the way, shout out to the Hard Rock. Shout out to the fans.
Did a great job.
It was a lot of fun. The interactions that I've had with, I don't want to say every Yankee fan, but I feel pretty confident saying, and if you guys think I'm out of whack on this, by all means, call me out. I know you will. If Aaron Judge is so inflexible with his and I don't mean that he's trying to get a little bit more. I'm fine with that. Do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, like if he bolts over $2 or $3 million, I think we're okay with that. In large, we don't want him to go. But Yankee fans right now, which is why Brian Cashman revealed the details and the nature of the offer. The Yankees had a bad offseason in the court of public opinion.
Yes.
Public perception, and I was leading the charge. The Yankees were knocked around, and I thought rightfully so. They didn't do enough to satisfy the demands of many of us lunatics out there. But this offer was fair. And when Cashman put this out there, while it's not a daily practice of the Yankees, I had no issue with it, and he did it for a reason, and the Yankee fans, in large part, are with the Yankees on this.
I hear you, but I understand this from a Judge standpoint as well. Judge wanted to be respected, and I think that he came away from this negotiation, if we're going to call it a negotiation, not feeling respected. That they were marginalizing his importance, not only to the team, but for the Yankees.
Do you believe that?
I don't know what to believe.
But
I don't know what
the justification to feel that way. It's right behind Mike Trout in AAV. Aaron Judge, you're not Mike Trout.
I mean,
you'll never be Mike. I love the guy.
I agree.
He's not Mike Trout.
But is there should there be? The question is, should there be a premium because he's a New York athlete and the face of Major League Baseball in some estimations? Look, I love Mike Trout. And if you're a diehard Major League Baseball fan, if Mike Trout is walking down the street, you're going to recognize him. A lot of people, Mike Trout walking down the street, you won't know who the hell he is. Aaron Judge, you're going to know who he is. Now, that doesn't have value as it pertains to winning and losing, but I do think that that's what his camp is looking for. He's looking for respect that he has built as a homegrown Yankee, who's someone who is, when he's healthy, and we know it's a little bit exaggerated, his health issues, but when he's healthy, he's one of the best, if not, one of the best players in Major League Baseball. He wants to be compensated as such. And so to have guys like Rendon and some other Lindor making so much money without even a thought process behind it, without even second guessing it one iota, while the Yankees are second guessing it with him, it just feels disrespectful. And if I'm Aaron Judge, I 100% would feel the same way.
Okay, 877-337-6666, Tiki and Tierney show on The Fan. Listen, is it a complex negotiation? Yes.
Yep.
Did the Yankees come with a fair offer in my estimation? Yes. Am I cool with Judge trying to, flex a little bit and get more? I am. Do I think it's a bit cavalier on his end? I do. I mean, he has not banked a lot of money relative to his peers in the game.
Not even close.
Not even close. So, I mean, one oblique, one hammy. By the way, all we do with Judge is focus on potential injuries. We don't know how, and I told you this the other day, and you kind of minimized this. We don't know how he's going to compartmentalize the pressures of a contract season. And you can tell me, well, he's Judge, and yeah, he'll be fine. He might be. You know what? No, I know it's only 3 games.
Yeah.
No homers.
Yeah, it doesn't mean okay.
No homers, no RBIs. And the one thing about baseball is that when you stride to home plate, there is nowhere to hide because right in center field in every ballpark, it says every stat known to man.
Yep.
And do I think he's hitting 190 at the end of April? No, because he's over 300.
Yep.
Do I think he bangs 7 or 8 bombs? Yeah, I do, because he's Judge. But if he doesn't, we don't know how he processes that.
Yeah.
And then all bets are off.
Yeah, I mean,
Pressure,
look,
the mind is. Ask yourself with the fumbles. The mind is a unique place.
I'm not worried about that with Aaron Judge.
Okay.
Aaron Judge is hitting 308, as you said, BT. He actually stole a base.
Scored the back end.
I know, you know what I mean. He scored a couple runs.
Yeah, I see it fine. I know.
Look, he got off
Yanks
to a good start. The Yanks absolutely look good. Should they have swept? Yes, but that is what it is. The Red Sox are not a bad team, unlike the Mets, who had no business, losing that last game. But that's on Buck. We'll get to that a little bit later.
And Alonso, first base.
And Alonso, but we'll get to that a little bit later, BT. But, I'm not worried about Aaron Judge compartmentalizing the pressure. Okay. I think that he is strong-minded. He knows what his role is, and he's out to prove himself because he feels like he was disrespected, and I 100% can concur with it.
Wow. Okay, so we're at different sides of the room here. I think the Yankees were very, very generous with the offer. 877-337-6666. Let us get to you on this Monday on the Fan. Joel's in Wolcott, Connecticut. Joel, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Good, guys. How are you guys doing today?
We're good, man. What's up?
Nothing. I just wanted to call about this whole Aaron Judge situation really quick. I agree with you, Tierney. Very fair offer. You're becoming the second highest paid outfielder at 30 years old, only to Mike Trout. You're not Mike Trout.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Trout has 3 MVPs in his younger career. But all these guys who are getting these huge contracts, they broke into the league in their early 20s.
Yes.
And not for nothing, but my 11-year-old says to me yesterday, she says, Dad, show me Aaron Judge's stats, playoff stats, and compare him to somebody that you really liked when you were younger. So I pulled up Derek Jeter. I mean, come on. These stats are just completely 2 different ways. But with that being said, I don't have a problem. The offer I thought was very fair. Giving a guy $35+ million who's going to be a DH in 4 to 5 years. Now we got Judge and Stanton making $60+ million, and we have 2 DHs. I mean, I don't know. If the Yankees aren't going to give him more money that he wants and can guarantee themselves that they're going to sign this guy when free agency comes, I don't have a problem with them unloading him to get somebody they can sign.
Well, yeah, I'm not going there. Joe, I'm not going there. I'm not looking to trade Aaron Judge, that's for sure. Thanks for the call there, Joe. Yeah. We're not looking to trade Judge. Although, listen, he does open up an interesting dialogue. I'm not so sure that today's the day to have it, but we'll give you 15 seconds on it. If the Yankees underachieve this season, this came up on the show 2 weeks ago. Say if the Yankees were to underachieve, and he has directly told the Yankees, I'm gone. Like, I'm leaving. Say if he's in the midst of a good season.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think so either, but you've got to calculate every possibility on even the remotest of levels.
Yeah.
If he's feeling himself, if he's hitting whatever he's hitting, and even if the Yankees are losing, and his camp says, we're bouncing, we're out of here, why wouldn't you trade him?
Because how do you trade Aaron Judge?
Well, how do you not sign Aaron Judge? We're already halfway into step one.
Look, I don't know what
you got to get something.
I don't know what the offers are, but I know there were multiple offers leading up until to this point that ultimately didn't come to fruition with Aaron Judge signing a deal before opening.
Well, we do know the offers. 8 years, $233 is what they offered in totality. We know that.
Yes,
and by the way,
that's including the arbitration year. By the way,
that's correct.
And so when you calculate that in, that AAV is less than 30 a year. It is what it is.
Okay.
So you're talking about Aaron Judge, one of the best players in baseball, the face of your franchise when he's healthy. And again, I'm going to assume health because that's all you can do right now is assume health. He is one of the best players in baseball. You're paying him less than $30 million a year. And nickel and dime him on arbitration?
I don't think you nickel and dimed him, though.
Now, I know you can go up on arbitration because you can just settle this thing.
But they did. But they said if you sign this deal, we're going to go from 17 to 21, skip out of arbration.
Okay.
We will acquiesce to your demand.
Again,
and it's only $4 million, but it's a good gesture. It's a will of, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's goodwill. It's a gesture.
Eight for 233-ish.
Yes.
Is still less than $30 million.
I understand that, but they were also willing to throw in a couple of opt-outs.
But BT, that matters to some people. Like,
all
think,
right,
think
well,
about,
then he can leave. What do you want me to tell you?
Think about this in the NFL. Why is Tyreek Hill? Why did the Jets flirt with Tyreek Hill and ultimately he signed with the Miami Dolphins? Not
because they've got cap space and they need guy to take the roof off the defense. That's why.
No, it's because Tyreek Hill, just like Devontae Adams, wanted to be the highest paid wide receiver in football.
Yeah.
And so the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't do the deal, so they had to trade him instead of him walking after this next upcoming season. So baseball players, why can't baseball players do what NFL players do? Not that NFL players have any leg to stand on relative to baseball players because their deals are not guaranteed.
Which is why you just answered your question, by the way.
But why can't Aaron Judge want to be?
He can.
One of the highest AAVs in baseball. Over $30 million.
He can.
He's not over 30 with this deal that they were offering. He
can. I don't begrudge him for asking.
And so all he did.
I question the methods.
So why are we questioning him? Because all he's doing.
Because he's always hurt.
He's not always hurt.
Dude, he's had 2 years of over 550 plate appearances. He's 30.
Yes, and
twice.
Over the last 2 seasons, he's had 747 plate appearances.
Keep doing it.
You know how many Mike Trout's had?
Well, I'm not talking about Mike Trout.
387.
Mike Trout has how many MVPs? Mike Trout's the superior player.
People get hurt. I get it. I understand it. It's a different circumstance, a different path.
Yes.
Bryce Harper's a different path because he cheated high school, cheated college. No, he cheated both in order to get in the Major League Baseball.
Went to the JUCO route.
Exactly. So I get it from Aaron Judge's standpoint.
Me too.
I completely understand. And all he's doing at the end of the day is betting on himself. So why are we so vitriolic towards Aaron Judge?
I'm not vitriolic.
Because he's saying, I don't want to take less than $30 million AAV. I'm going to play out this season. I'm going to crush it. I'm going to kick ass. I'm going to be the face of New York, and I want to win a championship this year. Forget negotiating during the season. But now everybody's saying, get rid of him. Good riddance. What the hell is that all about? What kind of Yankees fan says get rid of Aaron Judge because he wants to bet on himself?
Well, first of all, I think a reasonable Yankee fan understands what's fair, what's not. Also incorporates Judge's prerogative, which we all respect, but also understands this is a monster risk by somebody that we all love and respect.
Well, then what's wrong with taking a risk?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Just don't stumble. Otherwise, you do. And Boomer brought this up this morning. Juan Gonzalez had, what was it, $140 million offer from the Tigers or whatever it was, and he messed around and he goofed around. And you know what?
Do you see any Juan Gonzalez in Aaron Judge?
I see somebody who's big. And I see somebody who...
Okay, but to what Boomer said, do you see any Juan Gonzalez and Aaron Judge?
I don't think you know how great Juan Gonzalez was for a couple years, to be fair.
But he messed around and did whatever.
Okay.
Right? Do you see that happening with Aaron Judge? Do you see Aaron Judge being anything but focused as hell on helping the Yankees win a championship, being as great as he can be?
No, Gonzalez didn't lose focus. He had some other issues. I don't.
I understand that.
I've got complete confidence that Judge's professionalism will remain actually even higher, which is almost impossible because he's as diligent as they come.
That's right.
I've got profound respect for the guy. But what Aaron Judge needs to know when it's time to decide whether he's staying or going is, unless somebody comes with some rogue offer, then you got to do what you got to do. And if you do that, I'll be okay with it because I think the Yankees' offer is fair. I do. 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan. Met fans, we got you. Promise. A lot of positives. We'll weave them in. Obviously on a Monday, a lot happened over the weekend. Opening weekend of baseball. We'll get it all jammed in there, we promise. But this is still the story.